Hey, what's up? This is Joe. This video is going to take you swimming in some of the natural springs of Central Florida, riding around on back roads, and getting kicked out of spots as I try my best to stay under the radar. So hanging out in town, getting to know a few of the locals, started talking to this guy, mentioned my YouTube channel, and he was like, hey, if you ever want to go swimming, I can get you into this state park for free, where they have all these natural springs coming out of the ground. The water looks, absolutely crystal clear, kind of like the Caribbean. We tried to get in last Sunday, but there were so many people there, they had to close for capacity. So today's a weekday, it's about 8 a.m., and I'm heading over to his place, which is a couple of miles down the road. So we're in the car riding. This is Bill and his lovely wife Renee, and so we're headed. Where are we going?
Rainbow Springs.
Rainbow Springs
State Park.
So I'm all excited to bring my grandkids when they're down last time. I forget when, 2 years ago, and we get over here and they won't let us go in the water.
Oh, really?
There's an alligator in the water.
Oh no. It's been a little nippy this morning, a little bit more than usual, so hopefully this is not going to totally suck.
It's very deep.
All right, only one way to get in, really. In addition to being extraordinarily clear, the water in these springs stays around 72 degrees all year. It was around 8 feet deep in most places, so I practiced holding my breath and was able to stay under for progressively longer amounts of time, even getting some cool footage of a potential mermaid in training.
There are at least 2 independent firms that that I know of that will do train people to be mermaids.
Oh, really?
So she may be one of those. One of those is in Inverness. The other one's down by Whitlacoochie.
We were just talking about the lady that you saw, the lovely mermaid lady.
By the time I got out of the water and changed, she was gone. So I couldn't question her.
Okay, I got to talk to her a little bit. And what did you call those?
These are resurrection ferns.
Resurrection ferns.
You could pull these things out like weeds,
Yeah.
and just stick them in the ground, and they grow.
All right, so tonight, taking a little break from the Vagabond Gourmet. I really don't feel like cooking anything too crazy. As you saw, absolutely had a fantastic time going swimming in the springs with Bill and Renee. Always cool to get to know some of the locals and be able to hang out with them. So in honor of this new sort of modified carnivore diet that I'm back on, I just picked up a couple of beef patties. These were actually on sale, ground beef burgers with brisket, and they look like pretty good quality. So I'm just gonna kind of fry those up in some avocado oil, throw some pink Himalayan sea salt on them, and try out a new hot sauce. This here, if you're noticing, is my nicotine patch. I think today's day number 4. I've been off of the lozenges, strictly on the patch. I taped it up like this so it didn't fall off when I was swimming in the spring earlier. When I'm in the States, I tend to do more of a low carb sort of a diet. It's really sort of, I guess, closer to paleo. It seems like I just feel a lot better when I cut out the refined sugar, all the processed carbohydrates, things like ramen noodles, you know, all the delicious stuff. All right, while that pan's heating up, I'm gonna give these a sprinkle of pink Himalayan sea salt here. Avocado oil. Ooh, that's a hot pan. Crank it down just a hair. I do want to get a good sear on the outside of these, so I'm gonna not crank it down too much. There we go. Alrighty. Got it a little bit crispy on the outside. All right, so now that I've got my burger patties cooked up, I let them rest for about 5 minutes. And I'm gonna do a review on this hot sauce. This is the Hot Ones, the classic hot sauce. It's one that I had seen on the Hot Ones YouTube channel forever and always wanted to give it a try. I was particularly intrigued by the main ingredient, which is the chile de árbol pepper, which is a chili that I absolutely fell in love with once I started traveling through Mexico. So what else we got? Vinegar, water, apple cider vinegar, kosher salt, garlic, and turmeric. I like the sound of those ingredients. Typically, when I pick up a hot sauce, I'm not looking for the most complex thing in the world. Just give me something with a few basic ingredients. I want to be able to taste the chilies. I've already given this a try once, I'll admit, but nevertheless, let's do a review. Sweet and spicy, which is interesting because it has absolutely no sugar or carbohydrates. So the natural sweetness is probably coming off of the apple cider vinegar and just a little hint of that chile de árbol. So, whoops, that was way too much. The apple cider vinegar is pretty strong. The consistency's a little more liquidy than I would prefer, but nevertheless, the chile de árbol is there. This would work great on Mexican food, really anything. So I'm excited to give it a try on this burger patties. All right, got a little bit of pink in the middle there, not too much. Really good spice. It's not overpoweringly hot at all. A couple of notches above something like Tabasco. I think pretty much anybody could tolerate this. Tangy off the apple cider vinegar. A very natural tasting hot sauce. Some hot sauces are made with a lot of kind of artificial thickeners. Xanthan gum is one that a lot of manufacturers use to kind of thicken it up. So really, I mean, I'd rather it be a little bit watery and not have all those extra kind of fillers and binders in there. Absolutely fantastic. As an interesting side note, it says on the back, cultivated for 500 years, chile de árbol has become a favorite of chefs for its complex, fresh flavor. The peppers in this sauce are grown in South Carolina by famed pepper breeder Smokin' Ed Curry of Pucker Butt Pepper Company. Smokin' Ed, you done good. So as you've seen, I've been rather comfortable in my nice little spot, but it looks like my cover's been blown. Today I heard what sounded like a couple of meth addicts hanging out over there. That's usually who frequents this area. And then one of them was walking a dog just through that thicket on that side. The dog smelled me, came over and started barking, and then the lady came by and was like all surprised, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of dismantle all of my so-called camo. As a long-term spot, this is just not gonna work. People know where I'm at, whether they're meth heads or not, you know. Obviously I'm gonna stay here for the night. That way in the morning, I'll have everything kind of ready to go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish packing this up. I might come back out here tonight, we'll see, but I'm definitely not leaving my stuff out here, especially with a couple of tweakers knowing where I'm at. So one of the saving graces of having this happen is I really don't like leaving my stuff set up anywhere, even a place like this where it's like obviously out of the way, because I'm always worried about it. You know, it's just nice to have it with you. And if you find a spot, you know, you can just throw down and camp wherever you're at. So I might go looking for another spot today. I might come back here, we'll see. This spot is concealed, but the one thing that you can't conceal are the tracks coming in and out of here. I've tried, you know, kicking leaves and stuff, but it's just too much damn work. It's too much trail. So I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on this spot and see if anybody comes back. I don't know when I ran into the woman yesterday if she even saw my camp because it's so well concealed, but I didn't want to take the chance, and whether they'll come back or not is anybody's guess. So my time was running out anyway. Panama City Beach rally's coming up. As I was leaving, I noticed another good spot a little ways away and returned to it later in the day. Here, at least, I wouldn't have so much of a well-defined path giving up my position. The following day, I packed everything up and headed into the Whitlacoochie State Forest. All right, well, I was just riding around for the hell of it, trying to change it up for a little bit, kind of getting tired of my other spot. I guess you can camp here. Obviously, it looks like people have done it before, but it's not being used frequently, so hopefully I don't have to deal with any noisy meth heads tonight. For dinner tonight. This is a case where the beef was like, you know, $15 a pound versus lamb chops, which are like $8 a pound. Thing that sucks about this spot, like you see every once in a while, you got a vehicle driving past. It's not very often. So I'm just gonna kind of sit here and cook my meal, scope out the situation, see if anybody comes, you know. Around 10 p.m., a truck pulled up and a man with a flashlight approached my camp. Just had Fish and Wildlife stop by and informed me that camping was not allowed. They could have written me a ticket, obviously, but chose not to. They were saying like what usually happens is one guy sort of ruins it for everybody, and you get a lot of kind of crazies out here in the state of Florida in general that want to do crazy stuff in the woods. And then all of a sudden, you know, there's a camping ban in effect for the entire wildlife management area. So I got my spot back in Crystal River, so probably gonna head back there for the night. All right, so stayed out here last night again, no problem. This is a comfortable spot. It's not that I feel any kind of like an imminent threat by those junkies who kind of stumbled on my camp the other day. It's simply that addicts can be really unpredictable. I feel kind of ill at ease with the knowledge that such people know exactly where I'm located. So anyway, Panama City Beach rally is coming up next weekend. I got a couple of cool spots along the way, so I'm about ready to hit the road. Six weeks is just about my limit for staying in any given place. By about that time, I'm usually ready to move on to something new. I'd been in this spot for 7 weeks, and it was high time to hit the road. Before taking off, I studied the map for a few moments and began the journey to Panama City Beach. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as usual, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box for anybody that might like to contribute to this project. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.